Review of the Rival Pilot. As you can no doubt see, the Pilot is a single-shot breech-loading blaster in the Rival series. And on top of that, this is the last blaster that Coop 772 ever reviewed under the Nerf brand. But starting up the front, obviously, there's no in-strike barrel lug. This is a Rival blaster. Up top here, the front iron sight that corresponds with the rear iron sight. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the fancy little front iron sight that some of them have. And right in the center here is your breech. So to open that up, you pull down the blaster, and just to show you, only the very last bit there releases the breech. Once the breech is open, you can load a single Accu round. Notably, this also takes regular Rival rounds. Down below, we have the trigger. It is a pivoting trigger that is very comfortable, and there is obviously no slam fire. And right below that is the safety. So very basic. Forward, it's safe, and backward, it's not safe. Got the rear iron sight. We have a sling point back here. A little small for like a strap, but maybe a carabiner. Down below, we have the priming handle. Like I already showed you, prime, do that, and it opens the breech, and there's no option to disable that. And then we have the grip. Now for me, this is a very big, very beefy, very comfortable grip. It also has a plunger tube going through it. However, if you are of a very, very small stature, this grip might be a bit too big for you. And something like the Rival Fate might be more appropriate. But for me, no ergonomic complaints. Let's see that firing demo. Now with the yellow balls. And now that you've seen that firing demo, I put this over my chronograph, and with Accu rounds, the included rounds, I got an average of 84 feet per second, and with regular Rival rounds, I got an average of 77 feet per second. However, it is duly noted that these are not brand new Rival rounds, because I just have a bin of brand new ammo sitting there for me to chrono test everything. This ammo is used, so it's very likely that I may have had some worn out balls, but that's a Chrono Data nonetheless. Overall, I personally did not have any jams or malfunctions with it, so now to my opinion and whether I think you should buy this blaster. Overall, I would say that it accomplishes exactly what it sets out to do, and I would say that this is the successor, more or less, to the Rival Knockout, as sort of a Rival Jolt. And I say that because while I personally think the Knockout looks better, this is much easier to use and function. However, should you buy it? In my personal opinion, if a Chronos that is like just way too big and for some reason this is the right size, then yeah, I would say go for it. However, if you're putting this in a holster, I would implore you to think about the Rival Fate. It's a very similar concept, but this T-handle is out the back, so it makes it more sleek and slender and easier to fit in a holster. This is more meant for a pocket. Well, okay, maybe a man's pocket, but a pocket. Now for my personal opinion, overall, I really like this blaster. It does what it sets out to do, and comfortable and somewhat enjoyable to use, and I didn't have any jams or malfunctions. Would I personally use it in a Nerf war? Probably not, because again, I would probably just get my Chronos and use that instead. So that's going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you had a blast of a time watching, and I shall see you next time.